Greetings Berserkers, FiOth here, and in this video I'm gonna be breaking down the processes of forging armor and weapons as well as modifying your gear by swapping their random effects and increasing their level. First and foremost, you have to attain the tools required in order to gain access to these services. For the blacksmith, you have to finish the mission Spider's Tomb. You will be asked by Khazan to go there and retrieve the hammer of his ancestors. You go here, you complete this mission, and then he will be able to offer you his services. For Oksana, the mission is called Silent Temple. There will be talk around town about this mission. You go talk to Oksana and she will tell you that you need to go there to get her Halido box. In general, in Khazan, whenever you finish a mission, just go talk to everyone, click on that bonus mission icon, and you will be given bonus missions, and completing them will give you rewards. Let's start with the easy part, and that is the crafting by Khazan. You will see three options: craft, craft sets, and dismantle. Dismantle is self-explanatory. You find a piece of gear, you don't want it, you keep it unlocked, click on it, dismantle it, and it will be destroyed, leaving materials in your inventory. Now, craft and craft sets is interesting in the sense that crafting will allow you to get generic items with random attributes. These will usually not be parts of sets, they will be just standalone items, so crafting them is mostly a way for you to get high level items in order to modify other items by transferring their level or attributes, but we'll talk about this later once we're dealing with the next NPC. Also, don't forget that crafting in this tab allows you to create consumables and materials by refining more common ones into the better qualities. Now, the really important menu is the craft sets one. In this, you can craft any part of the set that you see on screen. You have to find schematics throughout the world to gain access to specific sets, and they will always be at the highest level of gear that you have attained so far. So I'm level 75 here, and 72 is the highest level item I have found. 72 is the level at which I can craft. This is a really good way for you to maximize sets in order to gain their bonuses if you're missing a piece. The problem with this process is that it is extremely expensive. As you can see down to the right, I'll need to use 18 treated sods in order to craft a helmet. I have been dismantling gear forever in Khazan. I pretty much went through half the game a second time on a stream. So if you have only 110, imagine how much time you will need in order to get the materials you want to farm an entire set. Now, the thing with these games is that the more you play, the more you amass, and then in New Game Plus and higher difficulties, you amass even more. But as it stands at the beginning or mid-game, it's very, very difficult to have the materials to craft anything. My general advice about this is don't bother, keep using what you're finding unless you get into the real late game, and then you'll start min-maxing. The game gives you a ton of loot anyway. You do not need to be hyper picky or hyper specific. So keep using what you have, and eventually you will have the materials, the specs, and the time to min-max and create the exact build that you want. Now, Oksana services are a bit more intricate. We're dealing with two services: change attributes and augment gear. Change attributes is kind of simple. So you pick a weapon, you go in here, click on one of its random attributes, and then finalize by clicking change attribute. It changes to something else. Every time you change an attribute, the price will go up. If you want to reset the cost, you click Y or triangle, and it will ask you if you want to use an Augment of Wisdom, an extremely rare item. I don't want to use it now, but what it will do, it will take the cost of reforging your stuff back at base, and then you can keep rerolling until you get what you want. It's not an ideal system. Neo did this much better. You could reroll randomly, but you could also transfer stuff. And here, at least in the mid game of your new game, you cannot do much. It's just a randomness. You reroll until you get something close to what you need. The second function is augment, and what you do here is that you use an item as a base, let's say the Soul Cleaver dual wield, and you use another item of a higher level as materials in order to raise its level. Now there is a big problem with this. First and foremost, it costs a shitload of money just to transfer the levels. The second and biggest issue is that, as you can see, I'm using a 62 level item as material to level up a 60 level item, and I get one level, not both of the levels that it's above, just one. I have tested it on various items, and what I have discovered is that even if the in-between differentiation in level is huge, you will get small increments. Like if one item is level 50 and the other 65, you will get to 53. This will take a lot of feeding materials to items in order to get them to the level you want, and this is not the very good idea, especially for a new game, because you're getting stuff all the time, you have not reached the level cap, and eventually you will run out of money and materials to burn. So my suggestion here is just keep using what you're finding, exactly the same as with the crafting. You will eventually be able to just get the stuff you want, and then you just need to min-max. As it stands at the moment in a new game, because 99.9% of the people who bought the game are still in new game, you're just burning through your resources to get the ideal item that you will eventually discard. So stick with the simple stuff, don't waste your money, don't waste your materials, keep hoarding stuff, keep dismantling stuff, don't sell stuff. It's never a good idea to sell. Gold comes from all sources, but materials will have to be a must for you to be able to craft what you want. So this is it, Berserkers, my guide to crafting and tinkering with your gear in Khazan, the first Berserker. I will be covering more advanced stuff as the days go forward, discovering new mechanics and new details about the game. So subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!